morning, students. Chapter 11, Chemical Coordination and Integration. In today's class, we are going to discuss the topic pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is otherwise called as hypophysis. So, pituitary gland is a small pea-shaped gland which is located in our brain. Pituitary gland means to grow. Pituitary means to grow under. It is ovoid in shape and located in the sella turcica. It is a bony cavity of the sphenoid bone at the base of the brain, and it is connected to the hypothalamic region of the brain by a stalk called as infundibulum. This gland is about 1 centimeter in diameter. It is a very small gland and 0.5 grams in weight. The pituitary gland consists of two lobes, anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. The anterior lobe is called as adenohypophysis and the posterior lobe is called as neurohypophysis. The anterior lobe originates from the embryonic invagination of the pharyngeal epithelium called Rathke's pouch, and the posterior lobe is originate from the base of the brain as an outgrowth of the hypothalamus. So, the pituitary gland consists of two lobes, anterior lobe or otherwise called as adenohypophysis and posterior lobe or otherwise called as neurohypophysis. Anatomically, the adenohypophysis, that is the anterior lobe, has three lobes or zones, namely pars intermedia, pars distalis and pars tuberalis. The neurohypophysis is otherwise known as the pars nervosa. The anterior lobe of pituitary secretes some hormones, and also the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland secretes some hormones. First, we will see the hormones which are secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary. The anterior lobe of pituitary secretes 6 trophic hormones. They are the growth hormones GH, thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, adrenocorticotrophic hormone ACTH, follicle stimulating hormone FSH, luteinizing hormone LH, luteotrophic hormone LTH, and melanocyte stimulating hormone MSH. These melanocyte stimulating hormones are only secreted in the lower animals. So, these are the hormones of the anterior lobe of the pituitary. So, the anterior lobe of the pituitary secretes 6 trophic hormones. On the other side, the posterior lobe of the pituitary secretes only 2 hormones, namely vasopressin and oxytocin. So, the posterior lobe of the pituitary secretes only 2 hormones, vasopressin and oxytocin. Now, we will discuss the functions of the anterior, the hormones, that is, we will discuss the functions of the hormones which are secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary. Hormones of the anterior lobe of pituitary or adenohypophysis. First is the growth hormone. So, the name itself, growth hormone, it mainly controls the growth in animals. It is also known as somatotrophic hormone, that is STH. The other name for the growth hormone is somatotrophic hormone or otherwise called as somatotrophin. It is a peptide hormone, and the growth hormone promotes growth of all the tissues and controls the metabolic process of the body. So, it mainly promotes growth of all the tissues and metabolic process of the body. It influences the metabolic of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and increases the rate of protein biosynthesis in cells. It also stimulates chondrogenesis, that means cartilage formation, and osteogenesis, that is bone formation, and helps in the retention of minerals like nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, sodium, etc. in the body. It also increases the release of fatty acids from adipose tissue. The adipose tissue stores mainly the fat, isn't it? So this growth hormone increases the release of fatty acids from the adipose tissue and decreases the rate of glucose utilization for energy by the cells. Thus, it conserves the glucose for glucose dependent tissues only, such as the brain. So, mainly the growth hormone promotes growth in all the tissues, and also it controls the metabolic process of the body. Next, we will see about the thyroid stimulating hormone. Stimulate means to induce. In Tamil, we will say Thundidal. So, thyroid stimulating hormone TSH or thyrotrophin, it is a glycoprotein hormone. The thyroid stimulating hormone is a glycoprotein hormone which stimulates the thyroid gland to secrete triiodothyronine, that is T3, and thyroxine, that is T4. So this TSH stimulates the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland secretes two hormones, namely triiodothyronine T3 and thyroxine, that is T4. The TSH secretion is regulated by the negative feed mechanism. So what is negative feedback mechanism means? When the secretion of the hormone is very less means it stimulates the pituitary gland to secrete more hormones. If the stimulation is more means it inhibits the secretion. So this is called as negative feedback mechanism. It release from the anterior pituitary is induced by the thyrotrophin releasing hormone. So its release from the anterior pituitary is induced by the thyrotrophin releasing hormone. When thyroxine level in the blood increases, the TRH acts on both the pituitary and hypothalamus to inhibit. So when the thyroxine level is more in the blood means the TRH, that is thyrotrophin releasing hormone, acts on both the pituitary as well as the hypothalamus to inhibit the TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone secretion. So the main function of the thyroid stimulating hormone is to stimulate the thyroid gland to produce two hormones, namely triiodothyronine and thyroxine. Next is adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH. It is also a peptide hormone. This hormone stimulates the adrenal gland. Mainly it stimulates the adrenal cortex. Cortex means the outer region of the adrenal gland to secrete the glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. So the adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates the cortex region of the adrenal gland to produce two hormones, namely glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. It also stimulates melanin synthesis in melanocytes. So it stimulates the melanin cells to synthesize the melanin pigments. It induces the release of fatty acids from adipose tissues. So on the other side, it induces the release of fatty acids from adipose tissue, and it also stimulates the insulin secretion. So this ACTH secretion is also regulated by the negative feedback mechanism. Next is follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH. Follicle stimulating hormone is a glycoprotein hormone which regulates the functions of the gonads. This hormone mainly controls the functions of the gonads. Gonads means the ovary and testes. In males, the FSH along with the androgens acts on the germinal epithelium of seminiferous tubules and stimulates the production and release of sperms. So the main role of FSH in male is it acts along with the androgen. Androgen means the male sex hormones on the germinal epithelium of the seminiferous tubules. So seminiferous tubules are present inside the testis. In this seminiferous tubules only mainly the sperms are produced. So this hormone mainly helps in the production of sperms in the seminiferous tubules, and this process is called as spermatogenesis. On the other side, in females, the FSH acts on the ovaries and brings about the development and maturation of the Graafian follicles. So in ovary many follicles are present. This FSH hormone stimulates the growth of those follicles and helps in the maturation of the Graafian follicles. Next is luteinizing hormone, LH. It is also a glycoprotein hormone which is also known as interstitial cell stimulating hormone, that is ICSH. In males, the ICHS, that is interstitial cell stimulating hormone, acts on the interstitial cells of the testis. So these interstitial cells are present in the testis. These cells are stimulated to produce the male sex hormone testosterone. And in females, the LH along with the FSH matures the ovarian follicles. And LH, that is luteinizing hormone, it also independently induces the ovulation, that is a release of Graafian follicle, that is called as ovulation, and maintains the corpus luteum. So the empty Graafian follicle turns into a scar-like structure called as corpus luteum and promotes synthesis and release of the ovarian hormones. Mainly the ovarian hormones are synthesized by the LH. Next, FSH and LH are collectively referred as gonadotrophins because these hormones mainly stimulate the gonads, that is the testes and ovaries, to produce their hormones. So they are called as gonadotrophins. And FSH and LH are not produced during the childhood. These hormones, they are not at all produced during the childhood. Only they are secreted at the pre-pubertal period, that is the period before puberty, that is called as the pre-pubertal period. So its secretion starts only during the pre-pubertal period and continues. Next is the luteotrophic hormone, that is LTH. It is called as luteotrophin or lactogenic hormone. This hormone is called as lactogenic hormone or otherwise called as prolactin or mammotrophin. And it is a protein hormone which stimulates the milk secretion in the mammary gland. So after the childbirth in females, milk is secreted from the mammary gland. So this hormone only stimulates for the secretion of the milk. And high prolactin secretion during lactation suppresses the LH secretion and ovulation. So when this prolactin hormone is secreted more, on the other side the LH secretion and ovulation are suppressed and it induces the corpus luteum, hence known as luteotrophic hormone. So these are the hormones of the anterior pituitary. So the hormones are the anterior pituitary. Next we will discuss about the hormones of the posterior pituitary. So it is otherwise, the posterior pituitary is otherwise called as neurohypophysis. So the hormones of the posterior pituitary are vasopressin and oxytocin. The other name for vasopressin is antidiuretic hormone, that is ADH. It is a peptide hormone. So this ADH is a peptide hormone which promotes the reabsorption of water and electrolytes by distal tubules of nephron. So this ADH hormone is responsible for the reabsorption of water and electrolytes in the kidney and thereby it reduces the loss of water through urine. And hence it is called as the antidiuretic hormone. So this hormone is called as antidiuretic hormone because it helps in the reabsorption of water and electrolytes from the kidney. And it also causes constriction of blood vessels when released in large amount and increases the blood pressure. So when this hormone is released in large quantity, it increases the blood pressure, thereby constriction of blood vessels. And the deficiency of ADH causes the diabetes insipidus. So the deficiency of ADH hormone causes a disorder called as diabetes insipidus, which induces the production of this condition. Large amount of urine is produced. So this is called as diabetes insipidus. So diabetes insipidus is caused due to the deficiency of ADH, and diabetes mellitus is caused due to the deficiency of insulin hormone. So there are two types of diabetes, diabetes insipidus and diabetes mellitus. Next is oxytocin. Oxy means quick birth. So it is a peptide hormone which stimulates the contraction, that is vigorous contraction of the smooth muscles of the uterus. So at the end of pregnancy, that is during labor, that is during childbirth, the uterus contracts vigorously. So this contraction of the uterus is controlled by the hormone oxytocin, and also it is responsible for the ejection of milk from the mammary glands. So the two functions of oxytocin is, at the time of childbirth it helps in the vigorous contraction of the uterus, and also after childbirth it is responsible for the ejection of milk. That is, ejection means the milk comes out from the mammary glands by the control of this hormone oxytocin. So far we have discussed about the hormones of the anterior and posterior pituitary gland. Next class we will discuss about the pineal gland. Thank you.